It's time for the Mony Show. High atop the third story of the historic Gibson House overlooking beautiful downtown Centralia. The star of the show, Steve Mohney.
Yes. And welcome to the Thanksgiving week episode of the Mony Show. Paul Walker's with me.
Yes. Can I start with a complaint?
Yes, you can.
I'm holding my own microphone. I'm not happy.
There was an incident. I don't, you know what? That's the thing in radio. That's the thing in radio that you have to do back when we were in radio. Don't you know?
That's right. The radio style microphone. I still think that, back in the day, they should have just walked around. In fact, what I really want?
Yeah.
I want the Gene Rayburn.
Oh, yeah.
The long microphone, from, Match Game.
Yeah, well, what's his name? I mean, Barker used it on The Price is Right. Yeah. Oh, those things. Well, you know what?
Price is Right.
We'll see if we can.
Truth or Consequences?
Build some of those. Maybe we can. Something like that. I mean, I don't recall seeing of any of those in any of the broadcaster magazines. They were very nice.
Long enough microphone.
Paul, we're going to get you one of these at some point. I mean, if you want one.
Nonetheless, you know what? I've had a pretty busy week.
Yeah.
We wrapped up a lot of sports here. Eli Sports Network.
You guys were really busy all weekend long.
Yeah. 3A, 4A state volleyball over in Yakima. We had the 1B, 2B boys and girls state soccer in Federal Way, the 1A, 2A state soccer at Mount Tahoma, and the 3A, 4A state soccer at Puyallup. And then we did as many other football games as we possibly could as well. So
tell folks that don't know, if they want to watch all these games, these are visual games. These are also announced by you guys. Tell them how they can hook up on the Eli Sports Network. Give them the information about our whole thing.
Go into, if you want to watch high school sports, can't get to the games. First of all, we always encourage and want people to go to the games.
Absolutely.
I can tell you this, our viewership of the volleyball tournaments, all 6 of them, we had 26,000 live viewers last year.
Wow.
This year, 37,000.
Wow.
And on top of it, I'm told the WIA says attendance, Adam, was up.
Sure.
So it's something that you can watch live, or you can go back and watch on demand. It is a subscription. It's called the NFHS Network. We have links to it on our website, elisportsnetwork.com. We have a broadcast schedule page. You can click on that, and that'll pull up all our upcoming broadcasts. Nothing's on there now. We're about to enter all our semifinal football games. That'll be on this Saturday. So, for instance, this Saturday, there's going to be 12 high school football games all around the state. Either we're going to do them, or they'll be on what's called the Pixelot cameras, which are automated cameras. And with your $12 a month subscription, which you can cancel at any time, you literally could sign up for $12, cancel. It's going to cost you $12. You can watch all 12 games. You can watch them on demand as well. So you don't have to miss the Apple Cup.
That's $1 a game.
That. It's $1 a game. Exactly. $1 a game just for that.
Whoa.
But on top of it, Steve, the NFHS network is in every state.
Yeah.
And Washington, D.C., and this gives you access to the entire network. One subscription price. It's $12 a month. It's actually $11.99 a month, or it's $79.99 for the year.
Well, before I started working here for the Eli Sports Network and then the Eli Network that the Mony Show's on, my family's been watching sports on the Eli Network they're the ones that said, oh, yeah, about time.
Yeah.
We've been watching this for years.
Well,
you've been on for 12 years now.
What I really like is now, I'm 59. You're what?
57.
57. And so folks our age are coming up to me and they go, hey, you know what? I can go to the game, watch it, and then with this, I can go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
I go, yeah.
I watch stuff all the time over and over. I think we all do.
can't be at the game,
Yeah.
or, you know, something comes up and you just can't get there, then you can watch it live as well.
Well, I mean, the great thing about it is not only, you know, with all that you've said, I mean, we can, you know, my nephew, Luke Mohney,
Yep.
plays for Adna. And yeah, I mean, we can watch it live, or then, you know, all of us, my mom and dad, they go back and watch highlights and all that stuff too.
Yep,
So
exactly.
Okay, so with all that being said, if you have any questions about that, I hope we've answered them.
Yeah.
With the Eli.
EliSportsNetwork.com. Of course, we have tons of coverage as well. We
Lots
do
of coverage.
Traditional coverage of that, not only of just high school sports, but other sports as well.
Yeah, and
our producer, Matthew, for example, covered the entire season of the Mariners. And write-up of every single game.
Matthew will cover more of that in segment 3 of the broadcast today. So that's pretty cool as well. Now we've got our Thanksgiving week here. This is Monday that we're doing the show for Tuesday. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving, safe travels and all that. I've got my son Matthew, who's actually in town from Mississippi. He'll be on in the third segment as well. We've got a special guest next. On the show. This just fell into my lap. This is really so cool. Kathy Wilson Estep is performing coming up on Saturday at Jeremy's in Chehalis. So the show's on the 25th of November. You'll be ready to get out of the house.
Yes.
Uncle Ted
will have worn out his welcome.
He will have, you know, and here's some turkey. Get out. And then you want to go and you want to watch Kathy Estep because you know, you want to get out of the house.
Yes.
And so this is going to be a great show. She does a couple of tunes for us coming up in just a couple minutes. But also, Paul,
yes,
this is so exciting. We've got everything's ready for the big holiday show. Tell us more about that.
Full band coming in, folks. Holiday concert at the Northwest Sports Hub. I want to thank Lyle Overbay and Dale Pullen for helping us out.
Yes,
there.
Very much so.
And we're working with the Centralia Youth Sports new nonprofit. They were formed after the levy failed again. And so a lot of the proceeds are going to go and help them. It's going to go right to their programs.
And this is K through 12, right?
K through 12. It's going to help, across the board.
Yeah.
And trying to keep sports, going for them.
So we're asking for support.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, not only from folks just buying tickets to go to the show. I mean, the tickets are great price. If you paid tickets, if you paid anything for concert tickets lately, I mean, these are a bargain.
Yeah, $40 to $60.
And you're going to have a great view. There's no bad seat in the entire
600 seats.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a bad seat. You're going to be right on top.
And it's going to be so festive because right before Christmas, families are going to be together. Kids are going to be home. It's a one to death concert. I mean, meaning that it's going to be entertaining for everybody.
And a special guest is coming too.
Yes.
Right? Didn't you line that up?
Oh, man. You caught me off guard there for a second. Yes. We have Santa that is going to be at the concert. Santa will be there before.
Yep.
And he, of course, he'll have his chair. He'll be, parading.
Yep.
And you can he won't parade.
But
you can sit with Santa, get a picture with Santa Claus.
Bring it, yeah. We won't have a camera. You do your own pictures.
Yeah,
we'll have a setting, and Santa will be there, and boom.
Yeah, and Santa's a good friend of mine, and it's a real beard.
Yeah,
I mean
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's remarkable. This Santa's remarkable. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, the show comes up. Tickets are on sale right now. Where can they buy tickets?
Go to the Mohney Show, right?
Yeah. Go to the Mohney.
Yeah. Is it MohneyShow.com?
Yeah.
Or the Eli Network.
Yeah.
It's all over Facebook. It's all over.
Can't miss it.
Find it. Go to Eventbrite. We'll take care of the tickets. There is a small processing fee, but it's not crazy.
Yeah.
So your $40 ticket, I think, is $44.
Yeah,
something
that's
like
not bad at all.
So again, there's only 600 seats. I know that I think close to 100 seats have already been sold, and we've hardly even talked about it yet. So it's going to go fast. It's
going to be great entertainment, puts you in the festive mood, and just goes for a great cause as well. And we're really behind this because we do sports. Those guys do sports, and we want this to go over so we can give some money back to our local schools here that so much deserve this. And without sports in schools,
sports and activities,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
It's a whole education experience that you don't get in math.
And it's not the kid's fault that there was a levy failure,
Yep.
double levy failure. Anyway, that's what's going on. Happy Thanksgiving. We're going to wrap this segment up, but back in just seconds here,
Yeah.
I have Kathy Wilson Estep that will perform a couple of songs and explain how she got from here, basically from Toledo to Nashville. She's lived there for about 10 years now, and boy, she's quite the performer, singer, songwriter as well. So back in just a couple minutes here on the Mony Show. Point S Centralia OK Tire is a proud sponsor of high school sports and wishes all teams good luck during the postseason. With the playoffs starting, that means the weather is changing, and that means tough driving conditions with ice, rain, and snow. Point S Centralia OK Tire invites you to stop by and have your vehicle checked so you're ready for winter driving. Studded snow tires, studless snow tires, and tire chains are in stock and ready to put on whatever you drive, and with a warranty good at over 200 locations. Point S Centralia OK Tire, 1741 Harrison Avenue in Centralia. The real estate market is changing, and John L. Scott can answer your questions with a free market analysis. If you're a homeowner, it's really important to get a current market analysis. It only takes a few minutes of your time and contains valuable information about your biggest investment. This might be the year to make a move and take advantage of this market. For your free market analysis, see Laura Lee today at John L. Scott, 900 West Main in Centralia. Okay, we're back with the Mony Show right now, and lots of stuff going on this week. We've got Thanksgiving coming up. In fact, I've got one of my boys home from Jackson, Mississippi. We're going to talk with Matthew in a few minutes here in the show, the segment 3. But right now, we've got a very special guest in the studio, in the Mony Show studio, and it's Kathy Wilson Estep. And Kathy has really a long history here in Lewis County. Kathy, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You grew up in Chehalis, right? Or
Toledo.
Okay, Toledo.
Toledo. I grew up and went to high school in Toledo, and then spent a large part of my adult life in Chehalis and Mossy Rock.
Okay, so got into music. How old were you when you got into music?
As long as I can remember. I got my first guitar when I was about 11 or 12.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been
and just picked it up and started playing, right?
Yeah, taught myself.
And so you basically you started playing music. You played around here a little bit.
I played in I was very involved in music in high school, and then I played in cover bands for probably 8 or 9 years in the 80s.
And then you lived up
you
lived up in Mossy Rock.
Yeah, I lived at Mayfield. I had a house.
Okay, so you had a house up there. You made the decision basically to move to Nashville, right?
Yeah, 2008. My kids were all raised, and actually my kids told me, because they had endured it their whole childhood, me always locking myself in a room with a guitar, learning songs, and they would be beating on the door, "Mom, get out here." And so by the time they were all raised, they told me, if you don't do it, then that means that what we went through for nothing. So
exactly.
They had a point. So I loaded my car up as much as I could, and my son took care of my house. We rented it out, and I took off to Nashville, not knowing really anybody. I knew Jimmy Ritchie, but he's a very busy man, so I pretty much had to find my way on my own.
Boy, that's a huge move, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's been a great journey.
So you've been writing songs. You're like Loretta Lynn back in the day.
I've written songs.
Kids all over the place
life.
playing acoustic guitar to get the kids off to sleep,
driving them crazy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what our parents do to us. I've done that to my kids. But then you decide you moved to Nashville. What was the difference between when you got there? Musically, guitar playing or writing music, what was the difference?
Just back up. I'm going to back up just a little bit. It's kind of an interesting story. I was working at the hospital in Morton as a nurse, and Brandy Clark came to town. Her family member was sick, and she came to see him. And we all know what Brandy's. She's a fabulous songwriter, the best. But we were talking about writing, and she said, Kathy, if you want to write songs, you have to move to Nashville. And so the next year is when I moved. And then when I got there, I was just in awe, because you realize that you don't know anything about songwriting. You don't know anything. And so you start from the beginning, square one, and you be a sponge, and you soak up everything you can soak up from all the writers that are there. The talent, the bar is so high. The talented is just, it's amazing.
It is.
I don't even have words for the talent that's in Nashville.
It's the old, it's the sports analogy. I mean, it's a kid playing for this junior high or whatever, and then it's the professional, like Ken Griffey Jr. or something like that. There's just massive.
It's a holy land for
ground. It
musicians
is
there, and people come from all over the world. And some people want to be songwriters, and they can't accept the fact that they need to learn, and they're gone in a month.
Yeah,
because they can't stick it out and realize that they have to humble themselves and realize they don't know anything.
You can learn so much if you just take it in.
You can learn by going to songwriters' nights and sitting in the audience and just listening to the way people say things and the phrases and the visual pictures. It's
there's live music everywhere.
Everywhere. You can go out. See, I've been kind of driving around by myself at night when I get done taking care of my grandchildren, looking for music around here.
Yeah.
It's in Nashville.
Whole different thing.
Yeah, every block, you're going to find 5 or 6 places to
Sure.
listen to music.
And that's why it's Nashville.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Show coming up on Saturday night. We've got Thanksgiving on Thursday, Black Friday obviously on Friday, and you've got a show coming up on Saturday. That's perfect because we want to get out of the house after being around Uncle Jim all day long. And tell us where the show is and give us some information.
It's at Jeremy's Farm to Table in Chehalis, and I'm playing 6 to 9, and it's going to be basically. I just recorded my first album, and it's basically material off the album plus some covers. And then I have a friend who I know from Nashville who's a phenomenal songwriter and entertainer, Melody Guy, and she happens to be on tour right now, and she's coming by. Between Seattle and Portland, so she's going to join us for the evening, and I know everyone will love that. She's really good.
Great. And you've got a good band behind you too, don't you?
Yes, I do. I've known Calvin for years and Bruce, and they've generously decided to help me, and they're good. They're so good.
So we're talking about Calvin Taylor, the legend from around here on bass. Looks most of the time looks bored when he's playing bass because he's not good. We've got another legend, Bruce Meyer. We had my dad's birthday party last Saturday. You were there. Thank you for coming. And I'd just like to say how kind Dad and Calvin have known each other for years and years. Bruce knows my dad. He knows Bruce. It's so kind to have him sing with him. And huge thank you. That was just so much fun. Happy 85th to my dad, by the way. And it was just a really good time. Okay, so we've got these guys playing, and you also have Eric Parton as well. So you've got a great band behind you.
Eric was living in Nashville for a while and played with me quite a bit down there because, of course, I've known Eric for years, but he was a Nashvilleian for a while, and so he got to do some songwriting rounds with us playing percussion.
So. This is going to be a comfortable show, having these guys behind you.
Definitely.
Is this a song that you're going to perform at the show? We're going to get you to play one here.
Yeah, I'll do one. This is the title cut off the album. It's Annabelle, and I'm actually I did get a cut on this one, and it's been on the Americana charts for probably a good 10 or 11 months, as far as up to number 2. And so by Maria Droz, check her out. She's an absolutely wonderful artist. And so I'm going to do my version. This is called Annabelle.
Okay, very good.
Annabelle drinks a cheap red wine from a fancy glass, with her fingers wrapped around a fragile stem, a long cigarette in her other hand. In her hair always looks so nice, she's good at hiding the gray. But if you take a long look in her eyes, the lines give her age away. Oh, Annabelle, what a story you could tell. Oh, Annabelle, love took you to heaven, love took you to hell, Annabelle. Oh, Annabelle. She sits there in that old oak chair every Friday night, and when she dances with the man, the years fall away. She looks younger under soft light. We've all seen her give her heart away so many times, we've all lost count. But when you look at love like a fairy tale, love's gonna let you down. Oh, Annabelle, what a story you could tell. Oh, Annabelle, love took you to heaven, love took you to hell, Annabelle. Oh, oh, Annabelle. She never said where she came from. The rumors, oh, they fly. The women in this town drink their gin on the porch and whisper lies about Annabelle. Oh, Annabelle. Oh, Annabelle, what a story you could tell. Oh, Annabelle, love took you to heaven, love took you to hell, Annabelle. Oh, Annabelle.
Nice.
Thank you.
Studio audience.
And I will have albums there at the show.
I don't know if we can zoom in on that. I don't know if we can see this or not. Matthew will put it up at the end of it. That was great. That was awesome.
Blessed. I have a lot of really great musicians on this album. I'm real proud of it.
Tell us about the musicians on this album. Now, these are some heavy hitters, right? That are signed to different labels, right?
Lily May, she's pretty well known around the world. She was Jack White's fiddle player for quite a few years, and she's been a very dear friend of mine. Basically, the whole family, her family, since I've been there. Mm-hmm. And she pretty much decided that I was going to do an album. In fact, she paid for the first studio time for me. Wow. I don't know why she did that, but it was pretty fabulous. And she brought in I think almost everybody on this album has played the Opry. And Misa Arriaga, genius, is the producer. And I was just so blessed to have him produce my album. He was Casey Musgrave's producer and co-writer on on a lot of songs on her first album. I think it's the same trailer, different park. And it took us, we did it during COVID. It actually took about 3 years to get this album done, but it's well worth it. And I am truly blessed.
So musician wise, tell us, who played.
Oh, Lily played fiddle and did background vocals, acoustic guitar. Her brother Frank, who's very well known in his own right as well, the world-class flat picker, played guitar, did harmonies. Cree Harrison, who actually was first runner-up in the 2012 American Idol, did the majority of the background vocals on this album, and she is just incredible. So all the background vocals, it's not me, it's her. And then we have there's just a lot of studio musicians on this, and they play too, but all of them play on the Opry. And Scarlett Rishi played mandolin. That's Lily's sister. And yeah, we just had an amazing group of musicians on this album.
And producers and
producers.
I'm trying to drop names here.
Misa Arriaga.
Yeah.
And if Google him, you'll see how amazing he is. And Lily Mae Rishi, Frank Rishi, Scarlett Rishi, Aaron Christensen, Eddie. This is terrible. I can't remember Eddie's last name. He's so well known.
Great album.
Kenny Vaughn. Guitarist, he's on here too. He plays with Marty Stewart, and Kenny Vaughn is my guitar hero. He is so good, and he does some leads on a couple of my songs. A couple fiddle players that are pretty well famous. I mean, I was really lucky.
You hit the jackpot.
I did. I hit the jackpot.
And this album available at the performance on Saturday night.
Yes, I will.
Good deal.
Stack of them.
Do you have another tune we can?
Yeah, I do.
Good. Okay. I mean, you got me hooked here. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Once again, folks, Kathy Wilson Estep. Here we go.
I think a lot of people can identify with this. It's about the damage addiction does to relationships. Will I bite my tongue? I tell myself this isn't you, it's someone else. The man I know comes back home in the morning. From now till then we'll be up all night, You choose your words like you choose a knife. You're a storm that breaks, leaves a mess without warning. Or when the bottle takes you away, someone else takes your place. And he ain't kind, he ain't nice, and his eyes are as cold as ice. My head says we're wasting time, that this has gone way over the line. I need to be strong, I know it's wrong, but when you smile, my heart starts telling lies. The days that I feel good about us are far between and gone in a rush. It's only memories haunting me that keep me hanging on. Go to work and I call your phone. Are you sleeping? Are you alone? There's no use for the truth when the trust is gone. Or when the bottle takes you away, someone else takes your place. He ain't kind, he ain't nice, and his eyes are as cold as ice. My head says we're wasting time, that this has gone way over the line. I need to be strong, I know it's wrong, but when you smile, my heart starts telling lies. It tells me lies that things are getting better, and someday you're really gonna change. I'm losing my faith it's gonna happen. I'd stand a better chance at stopping the rain. 'Cause when that bottle takes you away, someone else takes your place. And he ain't kind, he ain't nice, and his eyes are as cold as ice. My head says we're wasting time, that this has gone way over the line. I need to be strong, I know it's wrong, but when you smile, my heart starts telling lies, telling lies.
That was great.
Thank you.
Well done. These are originals, aren't they?
Yeah, I wrote everything on the album.
Congratulations.
A couple of them are co-writes, but the rest of them I basically wrote the music, the lyrics, the chord pattern.
Now, if folks don't make the show on Saturday, how can they get one of the albums?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I'll deliver it if they call me.
Message the Mohney Show. We'll hook you up.
Yeah,
right,
I'm going
right,
to be
Matthew?
in this
Okay.
area for about 6 months, and before I head back to Nashville. So if you want an album, I'll get it to you.
Man, I thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
You're working with a lot of grandkids right now, aren't you?
Yes, that's why I'm here. I kind of got a 2-hour notice I needed to come home, so I quit my day job, which I'm an RN, and I was on a plane in 2 hours. I have friends taking care of my house, but yeah, I'm here back in mommy mode for a while.
But you're a nurse, aren't you?
I'm an RN. Mm-hmm.
You're not just a nurse. I mean, not that you've been doing that for a long time, right?
I've been doing it for longer than I want to say.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you.
Yeah, in decades.
Show comes up again. It's on Saturday at Jeremy's. Starts at right around 6 o'clock, right? 6 o'clock. Okay, full band again. Kathy Wilson Estep and Cal Taylor on bass. Musical director. No, maybe not musical director.
Yeah, basically.
Bruce Meyer, everybody musical director. No, it's going to be a really good show. So check that out right after Thanksgiving. Thank you for coming in.
Steve.
Next on the Mony Show, another Mony from Jackson, Mississippi, the kid's home. So we're going to talk to him, and we're going to talk to Colin, who's with him as well, one of his friends. Matthew, we're going to talk to you as well. I'm looking at my producer here because Matthew, they both went to school at WSU at the same time, and you guys graduated with they went to high school together too here in Chehalis, and all graduates from the Edward R. Murrow School of Broadcasting. So that's coming up next. Stay here with the Mony Show. Nationally known and locally owned, Southwest Washington is home to 6 locally owned Napa stores, providing you with the best quality parts and services you need. With fast access to an inventory of over 400,000 parts, with ASE certified parts specialists ready to help, it's no wonder so many do-it-yourselfers count on Napa Auto Parts. Visit Wilson's Napa Auto Parts in Centralia, Chehalis, Rochester, Tenino, Castle Rock, and the heavy-duty and wholesale location on State Avenue in Chehalis, or go to wilsonnapa.com. Okay, we're back on the Mony Show, special show, because I've got my son Matthew here with me. Matthew flew in for Grandpa's birthday party, and tell us where you been.
Around.
Yeah. Also got Colin right here, Colin Albert, one of Matthew's great friends from high school, and you guys didn't go to the same college, did you?
We did not. No, we actually went to the rival colleges.
You did.
Universities, really.
So Matthew went to WSU. Colin went to UW with my son Aaron, but not really with him.
Well, we were good friends.
Yeah. So, and we've got Matthew King behind the camera here. Matthew's the producer. Now, Matthew, you went to the same school, well, high school with Matthew Mony, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
True.
And then,
Colin Albert.
so you know these cats.
Actually, he's Colin before Matt Mony, because Colin and I played youth soccer together.
Okay. So you guys go way back.
Yeah.
So
That's Fran's bread trek at one point. That never worked out.
So was it? So you knew Colin in junior high, or?
It was before that.
Okay. Yeah, Matthew's off camera. Obviously, there's no more room on the set here. So then you ended up going to broadcasting school over. I didn't hear that, WSU with my Matthew, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that. Were you guys in the same? I mean, was it?
Some good stories.
Well, go right ahead.
We were on the news.
Yeah.
Oh, you were?
We were on the news.
That's true. Yeah.
Can you elaborate, or?
I mean, we did a news class, so.
Oh, that's right. You guys did the news together. You guys actually
It wasn't anything negative.
Well, no, but you guys weren't the news.
We were the news.
Oh, you were
We were the news, but we weren't the news. You know.
So you read the news on a.
Jason Gesser was the news. We were just
You were doing the news as anchors.
Yeah.
I can tell that you paid attention to what I did in school.
No, I know you did it. I watched it, but I'm just saying that being over at WSU, you could have been the news. 3 guys, lit a dumpster on fire.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're getting after. No, we were in the Pullman police reports a couple of times. Those were available in the Daily Evergreen.
Okay.
We'd read about what we did the night
Thank you.
before.
That's what I'm
I
talking.
see what you're saying.
That's what I'm talking about. Couch lit on
We
fire.
were actually reporting on the stuff that we did.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking
But the
about.
suspect remained at large.
Well, and it was always anonymous, a Pullman man.
Right.
That's kind of how it went.
Because I remember hearing about couches on fire.
Right.
In front of.
Well, I didn't own a couch.
No, but
because it was on fire.
But that's over at WSU. I mean, they take the couch out in the front of the fraternity or whatever, and light it on fire, and then play burning down the house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whew, glad that we got that out of it.
That was tough.
Colin, you went to UW. What did you study up at the UW?
Agriculture.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Big ag guy. See, it was weird though, is that he didn't go to the ag school.
Right.
Because WSU is the ag school.
Yeah. It was weird, but I like Seattle. Yeah.
So you graduated, then you went back to school, didn't you?
I did. I got a master's.
Can you believe? I mean, does this guy? I mean, really, you're young. You don't really look like you have a
Looks
master's.
like a guy with a master's.
I
Congratulations.
carry myself with the authority of someone with a master's.
Based on the way you dress.
Yeah, based on the way I dress, you never ask.
Especially at the Market Street Pub.
That's true. That's true.
Outside of the Market Street Pub.
Absolutely.
Not allowed back.
Banquet comes to mind too.
Yeah.
The Banquet can. Anyway, what are you doing now? What's your profession? Because it's pretty impressive.
Engineer. Yeah.
Nice. Well, what kind of an engineer?
He's got to think about it.
What do you design highways or what?
I work on rockets.
Rockets.
Yeah.
So you worked at Boeing for a spell, didn't you?
No, I actually never ended up.
Oh,
common
because
misconception.
I got
Yeah.
the better job,
You
you know,
did.
so I stayed away from Boeing.
Okay, very good. So you're we'll leave it right there. You're smart.
Very smart.
I'm going to do Matthew last year. Matthew King.
Also a smart guy.
Very smart guy. You're in sports journalism, and you're the guy. Tell us about the Eli Sports Network. You do mounds of reporting and writing.
Official title is the director of operations. What that means, I don't even know. It's what Paul Walker.
Right.
That's the title he gave me. But yeah, I set up all our broadcasts in constant communication with athletic directors, the WIA. Especially right now, we're getting ready for state semifinals for football. We just wrapped up state soccer.
So tell us about where you travel and all that over on the Eli Sports Network.
I mean, we travel everywhere from Spokane. I've been up to Linden a few times this year. I go down to Vancouver. We go everywhere. I've been out to South Bend, the lovely town of South Bend.
Right.
We go everywhere.
And if folks want to watch you and want to listen and you're not around, you're not in the area, you can't make it to the game or whatever. I mean, you can be anywhere across the entire country and watch these games, right?
Yep, all through the NFHS network. If you sign up, you get the month for $11.99. You can also have a year-long subscription, and you get everything from all across the nation. It's not just you're getting Washington events. It's not a pay-per-view. It's everything the entire month.
If you want to watch a high school baseball game in Nashville, our previous guest.
You could have watched LeBron James kid play on there for
nice
4 years. So
pretty good.
It's pretty. It's as you would say, it's pretty good. Now you also do the reviews of the games that you call, right?
Yeah.
So highlights and stuff like that.
But it's not just that. We also have coverage of my favorite sports team that loves to just rip my heart out year in and year out. That Matt Mony always shoots me a text about the Seattle Mariners. We cover them. There's horse racing that Paul does.
Lots of horse racing. Yes.
I just did the NWAC
Covered all
championships yesterday. We're everywhere.
So you also do quite a bit of sports coverage from locally, right? Like Centralia College.
Yeah, Centralia College basketball about to start. We just had Coach Joe Cheerhart on the podcast last week. Good friend of mine. Noah Vasquez another good friend of mine, started the men's soccer program there. This was their first year. So, yeah, we're doing a little bit of everything, and there's a lot of local athletes going into the NWAC as well.
And the college just has, so much going on right now. The new field, man, that's a nice-looking field, and new blood over at the college as well. Yeah. But respecting the old blood as well.
Absolutely. Bob Peters Field, he did a lot of great work there at CC as the athletic director for so long. I don't know how long exactly it was before my time. But they named the new complex after him, and now Joe Cheerhart is the temporary athletic director. We'll see.
A lot of energy, a lot of great positive energy there. And if you get a field named after you, then obviously it's a big deal. Okay, on to Matthew Mony here. All right, what do you go by on the air? It's Matt Mony, isn't it?
Matt Mony.
Money. Just take the N out or the H out.
I jumbled the letters.
You jumbled the letters.
Mony.
Oh, no EY.
No EY.
Okay.
That would be money.
Okay, so he reluctantly said, "Okay, I'll do the show."
We're on. Are we live, by the way?
No, we're not live. We're taping it Monday before Thanksgiving because you have to go back on Tuesday.
They demanded this was live.
We're mostly live.
Okay.
Tell us about the career. So you left WSU. You went down to San Diego for a jaunt. What station? Give us some background.
I was on Z90 for a few minutes.
Yeah, a few minutes. What was so years. Z90 is a station out of Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm, out of Tijuana.
So your studio was in San Diego, right?
Yeah, it's the transmitter, licensed to Mexico.
Okay.
So we had to run like Mexican commercials all the time.
Right. And then at the top of the hour at midnight.
No, not at the top. Oh, well, yeah. We did the Mexican national anthem.
Right.
At midnight and 6 a.m.
So for folks that don't know this, the studios, how far away from Mexico were the studios?
About 15 miles probably.
Okay.
Maybe
So
20.
So it's what they do is they have a studio in San Diego. Then they studio to transmitter link. They send that over the Mexican border, and then it sends it back across.
Fun fact, that's not allowed because it's an international thing. It's actually a cable. It's a custom cable underground.
Okay.
Because they can't broadcast from country to country.
I did not know that, as Johnny Carson once said.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a cable.
It's a cable.
It's
a fiber cable.
It's a fiber cable.
Big on fiber cables.
Okay, so you're on that station and you're having a pretty good time. Top 40. Tell us a little bit more about, how long you were there and what kind of music.
Top 40.
Right.
Oddly enough.
You say that?
On a top 40 station, which is basically there a lot of, it's mostly Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
It's just Bad Bunny, J Balvin, and who else? Larry David and the Hipsters.
Oh, Aaron and the Pacers.
Aaron and the Pacers.
Okay.
They were big on the playlist probably for a couple of years. But anyway, I was there for 3 years. Talked a lot about California burritos.
Yeah, that was your whole thing.
A lot about California burritos.
Yeah, it gets the people going.
Did you guys ever get IFWAG on?
We did get IFWAG on, but it was an overnight record. Yeah, so they spun like 4
They
times.
almost broke number 1 though.
So a pretty cool cat did Afternoon Drive.
Oh yeah,
we
Pandar.
We got to talk
Can
about
anybody know there
Pandar.
R is here? I can't. Yeah, Pandar.
Got to talk about Pandar.
Yeah, he
Give us a little bit of a kind of an impersonation of Pandar because he's a super cool cat and just
everybody knows
gives it
Pandar.
to you on the air. And you can be standing there talking with this guy in the studio, and he says, "Yeah, okay, yeah, all right," and then all right, hold on a second, and then just does this.
He goes on to like, give me some sort of random topic. I'll Pandarize it.
Okay, I'm going to ask you how you would like your burrito put together and the delicious type of a burrito.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so he started asking people, all right,
Yeah.
all right, baby. He's on the phone with these people, and he go, all right, baby. What kind of toppings you need in that burrito? And then somebody will say, oh, I like carne asada. Oh, carne asada. Wow. You naughty man, you naughty man. Do you like the sour cream? And then that's it. That's
the bit. Yeah, that's it. It goes on from there.
And then he'll splice in oh yeah.
And you know, well, you can listen to this actually. I mean, that's Z90.com. Z90.com. It's the station out of San Diego. Yeah. Okay, so you're there for that period of time, and you're like, okay, well, I'm on for the next challenge.
Well, I wasn't making any money, first of all.
Oh, well, what
so
do you know?
made about,
radio, no money.
I know. I made $10,000 one year in San Diego, so that's like
the taxes on that must have been incredible.
I know. Well, yeah.
I personally thank my cousin Shannon and her entire family for supporting my son while he was in San Diego.
Yeah, she one time gave me $100 at the casino.
Yeah, because she
said, "Go have fun," and so I just pocketed the 100 so I could pay my rent. And then got, I think, people to buy everything else for me.
And also Kelly that opened up her house.
Oh, that's true. The name of the house is Kelly Cole's Funny Hole.
Yeah.
And I lived out there. That's in Santee.
But, really, that was a pretty cool place.
Yeah, $900 a month to live in a house with basically a private full-size swimming pool.
Yes.
A hot tub.
Yes. And comedy.
That's true.
And we can't forget, and the granddaughter, Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte, of course.
Charlotte will be forever damaged in her adult life by...
No, not because of me, but because of Kelly.
Oh.
And then me.
And then you.
Yeah.
It was a dynamic duo.
Right. She has a favorite word.
Yeah.
I can't say it on a podcast.
No, you can't even say it on a podcast, and we're not FCC regulated either, so that's saying something.
But
anyway,
can I tell about the word, though?
You can, just as soon as I say this.
Okay.
Thanks to Kelly for kind of... well, I entrusted Kelly with my son, but at times it was a toss up on who was worse. So go ahead.
Weirdly, I moved 1,000 miles down there.
Yeah,
and I moved into the house with Kelly.
Yeah,
and I find out that her daughter lived in Randall.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
up in the Randall Mossy Rock Morton area.
She's well known in the Randall area. So if you're watching in Randall,
you're watching in
everybody
Randall.
knows Nicole.
Yeah. Yeah, they do Nicole. No, Nicole. Nicole. Tell us your next anecdote here.
What do we got?
No, you were talking about, I interrupted you.
Oh.
It was something good.
You can't say on TV.
Oh,
yeah.
So anyway, Charlotte had this favorite word she'd say.
Yeah.
Can't say the word.
Right.
But she was sitting in the chair.
Right.
On her iPad as she's, about 10 at the time, blanket and just.
Mm-hmm.
And she just blurts out the word. And I laughed because it was funny. And from then on, she just said it as many times as she possibly could. And so I get a birthday card recently.
Right.
And she signs the card, happy,
mm-hmm.
the word, from Charlotte. And that's her bit. And at one point, Kelly told her, Grandma,
it's a good
Nana,
yeah.
you got to quit saying that. She goes, it's my bit.
We all have our bits.
She's a good kid.
Yeah, she is a good kid. Yeah. At our house, sometimes Tammy will get your stepmother, my wife, will get the grandma language.
That's true. Yeah, I heard that this morning.
Yeah, that's something we
Personally,
get.
I don't swear.
So tell us about the new Endeavor and what station you're at right now. And
I'm in the South now.
Yeah.
And everybody that I meet there, they say, you moved from San Diego to Mississippi?
And it's a cast
they're
of
shocked.
characters. It's really a cast of characters that I hear from Matthew when I'm talking. We talk almost every day.
You got Heather at the front desk.
Right.
Heather is how would I describe this? Internal conflict. And
Heather, we're not bashing. We're just merely saying everybody's got these great.
She is one of the most entertaining people.
Yeah, great personalities.
Because it's internal conflict and cognitive dissonance.
Uh-huh.
I walk in the other day and she tells me that, I'm so tired. I want to quit my job. And I go, yeah, you could.
Yeah.
She goes, who needs to pay the rent? I don't got to pay the rent.
No.
I can shack up with somebody.
Yeah.
And I go, you could if you wanted to. And she goes, I can't do that. I gave my life to the Lord. And I said, well, then don't, It just goes back and forth. You never know what she's going to say.
Yeah.
It's always funny. She'll come back from work. I go, where you been? I was taking a nap in my car.
Yeah.
For 2
What about
hours.
going to the Chick-fil-A?
Oh, always at the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
She'll be, I'm going to Chick-fil-A. You want something? And
No, really give us her voice with the,
what's something Heather would say? Heather, if you're watching this, I'm going to try to do you justice.
We're doing Heather now.
She'll come back to my office. I've got a couch in there.
Okay. Oh, really?
Okay, Matt. I'm tired. Miles kept me up late last night. I need your couch for a nap. But don't tell anybody I'm back here because I'll get in trouble. So then you got Bender.
I was going to say Bender, man, fan favorite here.
Bender, it's not Bender from Seattle, different Bender.
But
he got his name kind of from Bender, who's in Seattle.
But a guy that's been on the radio and in the business for
probably as long as you have.
Yeah, right.
And he's the loudest person in our building.
And really, in the vein of Denny Murray, a lot of Denny in him, right?
Probably so.
Yeah.
We work with quiet people and people everything.
I've got to say this right now. I'm going to have to interrupt you. Why the hell are people in radio stations quiet?
Bender's not.
Well,
and
Andy West used to walk into the station and go, "I'm here." Yeah. Oh, and I'm very important. And that was the bit.
That's always the bit.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of people that just aren't from that background.
Okay.
And so they're quiet and everything's slow. Everything in the South is slower.
Yeah.
And
It's
taking
metal.
their time.
Yeah.
And Bender just comes in. I can hear him come through the front door.
Yeah.
My office is the exact opposite side of the building.
Okay.
And I can hear him screaming as soon as he walks in the front door. And then
I love it.
He'll throw stuff in my office from down the hall.
Yeah.
I'll be at my office and it'll just hit the wall.
Yep.
He threw a hush puppy at me the other day.
It's showbiz.
And
didn't that stick on the wall?
It left a big grease stain.
Now, are you going to be charged for that, or
possibly?
Okay.
And there was grease all over the floor.
Now that was
we had the catered event.
That was a station event, right?
It was a station event. They brought in catering, but it was all fried food. It was fried green beans, fried chicken, fried, you name it, fried. Greasy.
Those folks might have a place here because Paul Walker and myself have been trying to put together a podcast, and it's all fried foods. That's
a good place.
All fried. It's just the worst stuff you could ever think of to put inside your body. I mean, it's green beans. You name it.
It's all fried.
It's fried.
I looked at the table. It was this massive table.
Ooh,
and the sales guy behind me.
Yeah,
he's real jokey. And
what
he's always trying to make a pun, but he didn't have the pun. I go, 50 Shades of Beige. Am I
right? The fried stuff. Yeah. What, did you just come from the house? Who was frying stuff? I don't know. My dad, my mom. I used to get that once in a while.
I see that.
It's like when
it's
you go.
Not the healthiest. Everybody the next day at work was all.
Oh yeah. Plus your clothes smell like you've been in a bar or something like that. But the right fried stuff's it's not bad. So tell us. Say it again, Colin.
Oh, I just said Mohney was telling me he's fried right now on the way over here.
You ever notice how these chairs are higher?
It's weird.
That's nice.
Good contribution. Thanks for helping.
Had to hop in there.
You get to Jackson. You're not in Jackson.
Yeah, kind of in the outskirts of Jackson.
Folks haven't been there yet. The family, the father hasn't been to the.
Like if you're working in Seattle, but you live in Bellevue.
Okay, so it's close. You live in an apartment and you commute back and forth, and during the summer it's like 175 degrees.
It's hot. They say it's hotter than Hades.
Yeah. You've learned that, I guess, from your brother Aaron, who's living in Louisiana now. He says you have no idea.
Well, let's back up because before he lived there, would
yes.
tell me it's not that bad.
Yeah.
You don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And I've already been there a year, so I
Yeah.
know.
So
And he gets there.
He's
and he
backpedaling
calls
now.
me to complain.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
And you said
I almost hung up on him.
the Northwest apparently is the place to be, isn't it?
Well, yeah, there's been some complaints I've heard about the weather here.
Yeah.
But I remind everybody that while it does rain
Yes.
and it's a little wet and cold,
Yeah.
it doesn't get to be 105 with a heat. You don't even know what the heat index is.
No.
The heat index will be like 120. You can't go outside. You'll die. In the winter,
I'd like to say that I'm usually the one complaining the most.
that's true. In the winter, it's like here where it gets wet,
Yeah.
cold.
It just gets gray here a lot.
That's true. There, it's a little.
I mean, it's gray, right, Colin?
Very gray.
Yeah.
Very gray.
I mean, it's Monday morning. It kind of brings you down. It's it's
I'm
gray,
dressed like the
but it has been nice so far. Like this morning, cold. It'll get sunny this afternoon.
I like the weather.
It's pretty good. So, Colin, you live up in Seattle, don't you?
I do, yeah.
So, tell us where you live and what your routine is.
My routine?
Yeah,
Well, I wake up.
yeah,
Good start.
Yeah.
Then-
I wake up.
yeah,
He goes downtown
yeah.
Yeah.
to
Then I
look
go
for a
downtown.
job.
So downtown now, did you get a job keeping people from hanging out in front of the drugstore, or is that your? Oh, that was your first
Well,
day.
he
of-
didn't find that for a couple of days.
Okay,
When he was hanging out in front of the
I'm
drugstore,
sorry.
that's
That
how
was
he
the
got a
Cheech and
job,
Chong bit right there. That was Cheech and
keeping
Chong.
kids from hanging out in front of the drugstore.
Okay, so
Someone's gotta do it.
you where do you go? Do you like do you like buy rocket fuel on the way to work and then?
Well, yeah. So I stop at the gas station, fill up 2 or 3
Well, you
canisters.
got the tanker. hooked
Yeah.
up with the Corolla.
That's true. And here's the thing about the Corolla: it can haul a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
Well, it's got all-wheel drive.
It does have
All-wheel drive.
that, and it's got a brand new battery. Matthew's got something over here to
I got a
say.
question. So
Yeah.
you're familiar with like jet fuel
Yeah.
and like how hot? It is?
Nice.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. I have a question.
What about Bezos? Is he
After we'll talk later.
okay? That's it.
That was it.
That's it.
They
That's
know.
it.
They know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
it's hot stuff.
What's the? Can you tell us the company you work for? Or?
Yeah, it's called Blue Origin. It's
Yeah.
funded by Jeff Bezos himself.
So
yeah.
you work for that company.
Yeah, I do.
I'm really impressed.
Wow.
Cancels you out, doesn't
It
he?
really does.
Yeah, you know.
Matthew, you're nothing. Colin is
People
this?
are always saying that I'm canceling Matthew
Yeah, he
out.
cancels out a lot of
Yeah,
the things I
Colin's,
do.
A lot of stuff.
Want to give an
Matthew says.
example?
Of canceling you out?
Yeah.
I actually can't
It's
really
hard to
think of one.
cancel Colin now because Colin's like a member of the family.
That's
That's
true.
true.
You know,
I'm the new Aaron.
There's actually more pictures of Colin on the wall at Carolyn's house than me.
right?
True.
Yeah, and
Mom.
and your brother's, you know,
Well, he's been taken
Sons.
off the wall.
well,
Different brother.
my
Sorry.
my grandchildren,
Whoa.
Ezra and Micah, they call you Uncle Colin.
That's true. They love Uncle Colin.
That's true.
Uncle Colin sends them on missions.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Is they call you Uncle Colin, and they keep calling me Uncle Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Well, you guys
Math-
you all look the same. All the Monies.
Well, you know, I'm
But
gonna,
they know your name better.
you know what?
than
I'm
me.
going to say this out loud. I mean, Matthew's going to get a chuckle out of this. Matthew King. Hey, you know, you get called versus how much you put into the equation. So it looks like you and Aaron better step it up a little bit.
That's
What's
true.
ironic though is Colin sees them less, and yet they know his name. So that
Well, we see him
mathematically doesn't add up.
It could be. I think it's the smile index.
That's true.
Smile index.
The Monies are a grumpy bunch. Well, not you.
The- oh no, don't. I am too.
They don't smile much.
That's because all of the smiling is on the air.
That's true. You're
Okay,
smiling.
okay,
You're smiling.
okay. So you're working for Bezos, and you're working for what's the company that you work for? I'm just trying to.
Well, it's a privately one. You know, it's not a big conglomerate. So
Right, you're not working for the big iHeart.
No, not yet anyway.
Yeah, I mean, not that there's anything
wrong
wrong with
that.
that.
No, I work for it's New South Radio.
New South,
which,
okay.
As opposed to the old South.
that is opposed to the old South.
Gotcha.
And they own like probably
How many
10
stations?
stations, maybe.
Yeah. So like Hubbard in Seattle, how many do they own?
I think they own like 40.
Okay, so yeah, they're a great company to
I
work
work
for.
at a company where the owner, when there's an issue, he actually comes in and meets with us.
Yeah,
which is
that's
kind of nice.
That's very good.
I can call him on the phone.
You're in communication with the owner, and then you do the afternoon show.
Mhm.
Okay, and tell us what else you do. You're the program director. What's that entail?
What don't I do?
Okay,
So when people ask that question, I just basically tell them anything you hear on the air is me.
Okay.
So
And you,
I write all this stuff. Anything you hear that says we're giving this away.
yeah, that's
I
you.
write that. It doesn't get voiced by me, but I produce it.
Send it to your guy.
Send it to my guy.
Yeah.
Scott Matthews.
Everybody's got a guy.
Got to shout out Scott Matthews. This man is an
Exactly.
amazing voice guy,
Yes.
and he makes it happen.
Matthew can come up with some kind of a script and hears it in his head and then sends it to this guy,
Mhm.
and he makes it happen.
Yeah, I had a different guy, and it wasn't working out. And it's kind of one of those things you can, when you're writing for somebody that you really gel with.
Right.
I would write stuff in this guy's voice. He'd send it back, and it would be exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
I used to have a guy like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, Darren Day. Give it a shout out to Darren
Yeah,
Day.
we do like Darren too.
Yeah, we love Darren. So,
Love Darren's.
now as far as the music, you work with a whole bunch of different record reps and that type of stuff too. That's all alive and well, and and they're trying to get their songs played and
Right.
If something starts playing less, so we get local research
yeah,
that basically says people want to hear this or they don't.
Yeah.
So if something is not testing well, as
Right.
they call it, we don't play it as much because people don't want to hear it.
right,
So as soon as something drops, the phone rings.
yeah.
Hey, so
What's going on?
so did that song really did it drop, or was that an accident?
Right.
And there's always some sort of, my phone rings 70 times a day.
And for those that don't know, they can tell they know the number of spins
Yeah.
because everything's
Everything's tracked.
by what company?
Media base.
Media Base. So Media Base, you guys play something, your computer reports that song to them, right? I mean,
Yeah, and then like people that listen to like American Top 40.
yeah,
So that's based on media base. So when they're trying to get a song, higher on the charts, if all the stations are playing it, it goes higher. So that's why it's important for them.
right.
And so if it drops, and they have a goal of we want this to go to number 10,
Yeah,
and the station stops playing it, that's when
come
on.
the phone starts ringing. And yeah, what about now? This may be kind of off topic here, but All Access, the guru place for everything radio.
Mhm.
It's kind of no more. I mean,
Yeah, no,
it's online, but not as big as it used to be. What happened there? And I mean, like Andy West watching the broadcast right now, big All Access. Hi, Andy. Big All Access guy. And anybody in the industry, I mean, really, that's where you got the majority of your information.
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of weird because now they still have a job posting
Right.
site on there, but for all the other news,
It's
I kind of see some other places trying to fill. They were big on industry news
yeah,
for radio and records,
right.
or, whatever you want to call it, and that's not there anymore.
it's really too bad.
And so I kind of feel like most people in the industry don't really know what's going on with anybody,
Yeah.
because nobody's really taken that over.
Yeah.
So
is there a possibility that they could come back? I mean, why did they have to cut everything out?
it was just the way that the landscape of the how they made their money changed.
So
Especially after COVID.
were they paid by labels?
I don't know how they were paid.
Okay.
But they,
I mean, you have to a staff, you got to pay people, and things start
Right.
changing, and it's too bad because like you said, that was kind of the whole everybody in the industry.
it was the go-to.
It was
It would be like if you were grocery shopping and Walmart went away or something. You'd kind of have to figure out, what do we do from here?
and the thing of it is it would be like if you were trying to build a rocket at your house, okay? And you can contact Colin here anymore for rocket fuel and or the schematics to put together, the internal makings of your own rocket.
Big schematics guy over
Big
here.
schematics guy.
He's
Yeah,
big on the
you-
Big
schematic.
on internals as well.
Internals and schematics.
I dabble in both.
Yeah, I can see you.
Schematics for internals.
Now,
as
do
well.
you do computer schematics, or do you do, do you have like rulers and that type of stuff?
No, you don't have to draft manually anymore.
Oh, you
Yeah.
don't.
No, yeah, thankfully.
Okay.
Because I was never very good at drawing.
That's
Oh.
when, so the automatic drafting of the schematic is now called schemads.
Schmods.
Schematics.
Hold on a second,
That is an
Schmods. You know what that is?
industry
State, county, municipal data offender system.
Well,
I think Matt
Isn't that
King's on that.
close
Schmods?
enough.
I think that guy's got Schmods.
I think he flipped a couple of letters in there,
Yeah.
but
I think that. Well, do it again. Don't you know it?
Huh?
Schmods. That guy's got Schmods. We're doing not Animal House, but the Blues Brothers.
Schematics.
I was talking about schematics.
I was talking about
Internal
Schmods.
and external.
Oh, you guys do remotes at your station, don't you? Did they send you out to
It's a loaded
the
question.
yeah the auto parts store,
Yeah,
the Walmart? You do your things.
sometimes.
Yeah. what kind of promotions are you doing right now? You've got you're giving away $1,000, aren't you?
Well, at least 1,000.
Okay. How does this contest work?
So we're doing a contest that's called the Secret Sound, which a lot of stations do.
And what's the website? How can they listen to you?
Well, this is crazy. It's Y101 is the station, and it's Y101.com.
I don't think, you know what, Smarty Pants? I don't think we really mentioned that. So it's Y101.
Can we get that on screen?
Yeah, can we pull that?
Y101.com. It's
Can you put that on there?
now. It's blinking. So anyway, we're doing the Secret Sound. So
right.
You know, people ask us, how do you come up with the sounds? Where do they come from?
Right.
We'll record a sound.
Really?
It's a common sound.
Like,
and then we play it on the air.
Yeah.
And people have to guess what the sound is every time they get it wrong.
like somebody,
the jackpot goes up.
okay, maybe like, pouring a beer or something.
Something like that. So the one that got a few irate listeners that were not happy when they heard the answer, because for us, the more the sound doesn't sound like the sound,
right,
the better.
Right.
Because it's more guesses and people get more into it.
Yeah.
And while it's frustrating, I feel like everybody enjoys those ones more.
Because it's more of a
game. You
know?
Yeah,
exactly.
So we had a sound and it sounded like a zipper. It kind of went. So every guess for a week and a half it's somebody doing this and then zipping something shut. It turned out, well, we announced this on a Friday.
Okay.
We actually had Scott voice a special announcement that says, it's not a zipper. And we ran that all day.
Okay.
So people are like, what?
Okay. And so when do they get the results of what it is? I mean,
when somebody guesses it on the air, we'll play it.
Okay.
And then we'll, send out an email and let everybody know this is what it was.
Okay.
And we, play it over and over and over. So it turned out it was...
That makes sense.
It was, repetition is crazy. It was somebody opening a pack of gum and taking out the stick of gum. And that sounded like a zipper.
Oh, I'd have been mad too.
Yeah. And this person won over $3,000 when they got it. So that's a nice paycheck.
That's nice bread.
Yeah.
So then you give away the $3,000. It goes back to, that's
we reset at 1,000 and then on to the next sound.
Okay, so
when at least
so that's
$1,000.
That's a nutty sound. What's the sound now?
Well, we're taking a break. So
during Thanksgiving,
we did 3 sounds.
Okay,
I can't remember the first 2.
Okay,
it was something.
Yeah, I used to do a contest too.
What contest was that?
Yeah, it was a contest.
Was it at 7:15?
It was at 7:15, and
rings a bell.
Yeah, we did. In fact, I think Colin and Matthew grew up with that particular contest.
Was it? It was
something about a quiz or something. Yeah, we used to give away some. Set you up with a.
Let me ask you this question: during that contest, were you getting your car ready for winter driving?
You were. In fact, they're one of our brand new sponsors now. So
1741 Harrison Avenue.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to give a shout out to Point S Tire and Auto, Centralia OK Tire, and thank you.
Been there a few times.
I get all my tires
and
there.
Not, I don't do that at 7:15, but that. Yeah, so I know what you mean as far as those contests. I don't think I gave out $1,000 either. So
and yet we still enjoyed it.
You did. I mean, Matthew King over there, because I was doing it. I was teasing myself the other day, and Matthew's like, that sounds like the soundtrack of my life.
Well, growing up, do you have any idea how many times kids at school would get mad at me because I didn't know the answer for the rock and roll quiz tomorrow?
No.
Hey, what's the answer for the rock and roll quiz?
Well, how would I know?
I don't know. Or my other favorite, Colin witnessed this several times. If I didn't know who a song was by.
Yeah.
But your dad's on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? That song came out 35 years before I was born.
Well, at that point, I'd say, well, I'm not.
But not now. When you guys were growing up, there was a lot of education as far as the music. We'd go on vacations and we'd go to a restaurant or for breakfast or whatever, and we'd sit there and the music would be playing on the overhead, and I'd quiz the kids, and it was never a big price. It was only 25 cents, a big prize rather. Okay, the first guy that can identify this song gets a quarter, and Aaron would always pipe up $3 night.
Did it have to be title of
Beatles?
It
was title and artist. I made it pretty hard, but they eventually learned, and you guys are pretty versed in older music now.
Well, and that's why I have a lot of money.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, I was going to say $1.25, man.
Big money.
It's in your dresser drawer at the house.
Good.
And Paul will be very happy to know this, that Matthew's got a lot of $2 bills.
Really?
You do.
I wondered about that because I heard that you got to check the serial number.
That's what I was going to ask Matthew King about. Elaborate about our contest over on the Eli Sports Network.
Are you guys giving away
seriously.
$2 bills?
Giving away $2 bills. Yeah.
Get the people going.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Professor DW's football challenge.
Boy, Professor
ask a
DW can be a real.
What school did he go
What's
to?
Yeah.
DW stand for?
Oh man.
What is it? Dewey or something like that?
I can tell you off air.
Well, because on Arthur, DW stands for something Winifred, but I wonder.
Yeah.
If it was the
Yeah.
same.
I think it will. I think that.
Dolores
that's where
Winifred.
I think it's something I heard Kelly Cole say once.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's where it came from.
Anyway.
I think the Step Brothers.
So DW doesn't always have, the right answer, right?
No, Professor DW has been terrible.
Awful.
First of all, I didn't even say Professor DW. You have to pick the NFL games every week. I don't even think he said that. And if you win out of everyone who enters, you win $24 and $2 bills.
$2 bills.
That was Paul Walker demanded that be the
Yes.
prize. If you beat the professor, you also get some Eli Sports apparel.
Yeah. Like we've got some, well, I'll tell you what, we have beautiful apparel.
Yeah,
And it all comes.
Northwest.
They set us up with all this stuff, and it's more shirts than I've ever seen.
Polos,
A lot of shirts.
t-shirts, sweatshirts.
More shirts than I've ever seen in a broadcast facility.
No tanks yet.
No tank tops, short shorts.
We can make
And the thing that surprises me, Matthew, and everybody here, that it doesn't take like over 7 years to put together a T-shirt. I mean, we get these things back in just a matter of a couple of weeks.
You can get pretty much anything on a
Yeah.
t-shirt now.
No, it is. It's beautiful. Again,
Anything.
do the shout out.
All this is Awards West.
Kresge Avenue, Centralia.
I don't know the exact address, but I know
Well,
allthisins.net is there.
Yeah, Tom will help
You
you.
can check out the entire catalog,
Hmm.
awards, trophies, t-shirts, and a lot more.
Of course, you've got the holidays coming up. If you want to get somebody, something special, they can do that as well.
Hey, can we do some shout outs as well?
You can do shout outs for anything because it's my show. Well, it's not. I don't have to, answer to the FCC.
Well, that's true. We wanted to shout out.
Yeah.
We had on the list. We made a list.
Oh, good.
Because we knew we were coming on.
Yeah.
That's true.
Katie Liskey.
Katie Liskey.
The
the Academy. I
Well,
like to think
the Academy, but before we
yeah.
move on to the other shout outs, I just wanted to say that Katie, what you taught us is working
That's true.
at WF West, because I called Colin the other night
Right.
and I was doing a math problem. It was 2x minus 6 equals 30.
Whoa.
And,
A lot of math.
I had to call him and ask him how to do it.
Yeah.
And she told me that I was doing a good job in calculus, and I didn't believe her.
Yeah.
And here we are a few years later, and I can't do basic algebra.
Didn't you get all A's?
Just kidding.
It's a good kid. Yeah. You always had pretty good report cards.
Pretty good.
You did.
I thought,
It got a little dwindly at the end, and my mother,
Yeah.
she always told me how she basically gave up in high school.
Yeah.
And she should have done better. And that was her regret. And she would always tell me what her GPA was.
What was her
was it?
GPA?
It was 3.025, I think, or maybe it was a 3.205, something like that. Well, after she ramped up this whole I
Right.
quit trying,
Right.
I graduated with the exact same GPA as her in high school and at the university.
Oh, very
I'm
good.
consistent. And so I can't really brag about it because she said that she gave up.
Well,
And
I
that's
mean,
what I got.
and coming from a father that got a grade point average of 0.50. No, I'm just.
Point
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Yeah, your mom gave you all the brains, that's for sure.
0.0.
Yeah, fine example you said. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life. Out with it.
You know what's funny about this? whole thing?
What is funny about
I'll tell you what's funny about this is
What's
we're on
Animal
the show.
House.
We're on the show now.
Yeah,
We're actually supposed to be at my grandma's right now getting coffee, so we should shout her out. Grandma, we are on our way.
we're on the way in just a couple of minutes here. We're doing the broadcast, and
Coming
we've
up.
got to get him on the air before he actually leaves. Now, today's Monday. You're back on the airplane tomorrow. That big old jet airliner.
As far as you know.
Yeah, and back to Jackson, Mississippi.
There you go.
Does it worry you at all that Colin potentially had something to do with the plane that you're on?
Well, I don't do planes, Matthew.
No, he's
So-
You're-
rocket ships.
You're
He'll
the
probably
you're the
be
rocket man.
I am. People call me Elton.
Yeah, I bet
Sir
they
Elton.
do. Yeah, congratulations to Bernie Taupin too for being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because if Elton's in the fame, Bernie's got to be there.
He's got
Well, and Missy Elliott for that matter.
Hey, exactly.
Who's
No,
that?
man. Bernie, I've known Bernie for years. I mean,
Good
way back.
kid.
Because I used to read the albums when I was a little kid. Anyway, thanks, Rocket Man.
We go way back, me and
Oh.
Bernie.
Let's see. Let's cover a little bit more here. Let's give a shout out to your brother Aaron, who couldn't be here because
Aaron, what's
his
he weigh,
bosses
by the way?
wouldn't let him go. But
That's okay.
Aaron's in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Do you know kind of where he's at in Louisiana?
Yeah, ish. If I
isn't it?
the thing is, how when you're in states, they don't have a lot going on,
Right.
as far as interstates, as they call it there,
Yeah.
or there's basically two main interstates.
Yeah.
He's kind of in the middle
On
of
the-
them. So if I wanted to go see him, I'd have to go way out and
Yeah.
then kind of just go in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
For a couple hours.
Well,
I haven't been out there yet.
I encouraged the boys. I said, you guys live 4 hours away from each other. You guys should meet for coffee. And
Yeah, I said, we
it's
could.
the same thing with both of them. Yeah, I might
It's a long drive.
rather sit in the house and be by myself.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, shout out to if you're on I-20,
Yeah,
you're crossing the border
right,
between Mississippi and Louisiana.
right,
You go over the mighty Mississippi,
right.
and there is a daiquiri stand.
Is it still low?
It looked low.
Okay, it's been low.
It could be
The
higher.
Mississippi's been low.
The river or the daiquiri?
No, the river.
Okay.
Okay,
Low
Da-
river. You cross the bridge, just like Washington, Oregon.
Yeah.
It's the border, and you get over there. This is daiquiri place.
this is the best idea
So
I've ever
I
heard.
didn't even know that this was a thing there.
Yeah.
But they got daiquiris.
Well,
This is a well-known location.
it's a drive-through, right?
They do have a drive-through.
Yeah. It's
It's a
drive-through
drive-through
daiquiris.
daiquiri stand. So Bender took me over there.
Yeah.
Oh, because we went to the casino,
Okay.
lost a bunch of money, and then said, "Oh, let's go get daiquiris." So we go over there, and they serve them in like these styrofoam cups.
Ah.
It looks like you got like a Pepsi at Dairy Dan.
Right. Okay.
It's a daiquiri.
Styrofoam lid on it.
And so I didn't know that this was a well-known thing. I'm talking to one of my friends who lives in Shreveport,
Right.
and I said, "Oh, he's in Louisiana." He goes, "Oh, we always stop on the way back from Jackson at the daiquiri place." And I go, "Oh, this is a thing."
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that they go in there with gallon buckets,
Ah.
and they'll sell like for parties and stuff. They'll
Yeah.
sell them like a gallon of daiquiri. Whoa!
Now that's a business to consider in the Great Northwest.
If there was a daiquiri stand here, you put a daiquiri stand on Mayfield Lake.
I wonder,
Oh, yeah.
can you do it? Can you?
Maybe.
I don't know if you can. I mean,
I would actually cut this out of the podcast.
I mean, I don't know about the
I don't want
laws.
anybody stealing my idea.
Right.
We won't give them the recipe. I know the recipe.
Well, it could be like, I mean, but there's all kinds of different laws about alcohol.
That's true.
I mean, you never know what you can and you can't do as far as
Well,
containers
until you read the
outside.
law,
Yeah,
But who has time for
I
that?
don't read that.
I'm not sure.
Who
I don't
has
think you
time
can.
to read the laws.
I'm not gonna looking into things.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So yeah, that's a good idea. So you guys stopped and got a daiquiri.
Yeah, you stop and get a daiquiri, and then we sat out back at this picnic table that was falling apart.
Yeah.
There was a trucker couple out there,
Okay.
and then Bender starts telling the gal that hey, my buddy needs a cigarette, and I didn't realize he was kidding for a minute.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I don't.
Right.
He goes, no. He needs one. He needs one. So
Okay,
he
so
bums
it's
a smoke.
It's a bit.
Yeah, and then so I put it like up on my ear.
Yeah.
I dropped it, put my sunglasses on, and we're in the car later. I go, what happened to the cig? And he goes, you must have dropped it. And so it was.
You didn't do a bit with the cig?
I wasn't able to do it. I dropped it.
That's too bad. Speaking of cigs,
Yeah.
we do have the special
Give me a second.
ashtray here.
Can I have one of those?
Yeah, I'll put that right there. We're going to get some fake cigarettes online so we can pretend like we're smoking. Because it's obviously, you got no smoking. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to have that. Keith Richards will be very proud of you guys right now.
I just got ash on the carpet.
No,
Is that going to be a problem?
That's okay. Just rub it in. So, Matthew, is that?
Tony will clean it.
Yeah.
Good.
Tony will fix it.
Good.
We have to go to Grandma's house to have some coffee.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show. I'm not sure what we got out of this.
Are we gonna be able to use this?
I don't
or-
remember anything.
Oh no, it's fun. We know that you work for a trillionaire.
That's true.
You work for a local company, Matthew. You work.
I work for whoever will give me money.
But the irony of it
Don't we
is
all?
Matthew and I probably never thought we would work together. Matthew King. He's like, yeah, I'm working with your dad's Matthew. So we have a good time. He's
When I found out you guys were working together, it was kind of funny because it's real full circle moment.
exactly when he's my go-to guy.
The first time I got a phone call from Steve Mohney, forgot that the landline was disconnected. Didn't show up to Matt Mony's
Yeah, he was invited to my birthday in 5th grade. He didn't show up because his parents disconnected their phone.
Yeah.
And so nobody's getting a hold of him that way.
Oh.
That was kind of at that weird point where you still had a home phone and
Right.
calling him on the cell phone wasn't real reliable.
Well, I'm thinking about getting a home phone
Yeah.
again, just
Back when
because
you had a
it's not really widely known. Businesses have home phones. I mean,
That's true.
landlines. All businesses, do. But why not just get one so it throws people off?
Well, it's a good place for people, scammers and telemarketers to dial.
Yeah, and then you could do an answering machine and then never listen to it.
Novelty answering machine.
Or
You should, for everybody, if you used to call the house,
Yeah.
you should do the Elvis answering machine. You remember this, don't you?
I don't think so.
oh man, I used to
never
do.
did.
Did you ever call that?
I don't think so.
I did messages on our home phone answering machine that were so long that
They would hang up.
they went for like as long as the tape would permit, and it was either the king of rock and roll. It's the king, baby. We're not home right now.
And they need to do a couple of
Yeah.
feeling disoriented.
But, I'm up here in the jungle room with Scylla, and I think right now I'm a little disoriented, so I'll try and get back to you. Or it was Casey Kasem doing America's Top 40.
I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
and this song comes in at number 6 this week. It's the Beatles off their Hard Day's Night soundtrack. Something like that. It would go on, and telemarketers would just hang up. But the great thing about it is, your mom's entire family they were just pissed
That's
because it would go on forever and nobody could leave a
that is
message.
true because I started doing it on my cell phone,
Yeah.
and I would put together this world class produced.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight Show music.
Yeah, that's- Yep.
And then it was something that, like there was like a phone call on there. It was
Yep.
like a guest,
Mm-hmm.
and I timed it. It was like 25 seconds,
Really?
and
Well, you whittled it right down.
yeah, it was very concise. And Grandma, my mom's mom, got
Right.
mad at me.
Yep.
And she said, every time I call you,
Yep.
I have to wait for that whole thing to play.
Yeah.
And I said, but Grandma, it's shorter than the automated voice message thing. She would have rather listened to that than me.
Mine were
What's
so
that
long
like?
that I had
Yours were
she
like 3 minutes
yeah
long.
she would get really mad. But it wasn't for the family. It was for the the
You don't want
telemarketers.
the family call
Yeah,
anyway.
click. Yeah. With all that,
They've been sticking with this bit the entire time.
I know they've been smoking the whole time. I don't have a third.
Probably out after this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got to
Do
quit.
you have another one?
This is my last one. I'm quitting.
Oh, you're quitting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've smoked for 36 years.
I went to the doctor here a while back, and my doctor recommended I
God, that's
start
smooth.
smoking.
Not getting enough tar?
Yeah.
Exactly, that's what he said.
Tell them, I'll do something for you.
Tar is an essential,
It's a mineral.
it's a mineral. It's black and it clogs things up. Anyway, Matthew's got to hop the airplane. Matthew, thanks for being on. Colin,
Thank you.
Always
thank
a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you very much for being on.
Always a pleasure.
Matthew King, thanks for being all the putting this whole show together. I'll do Tom Schneider for a second. I'll tell you what, if we didn't have Matthew King over here, I'd have to go home. I'd put this on my telephone, and that's all it would be. I don't even know what that means. The Mony Show wraps up for this weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, or this week rather. A reminder that if you're thawing a turkey, it should be out by now.
Well, define now because they can watch this on demand.
That's true.
Well,
but this
later
is,
on, if it's in the summertime, don't get the turkey out. But
true.
I mean, we are doing this right
This is
before
live.
Thanksgiving.
I did see like a graphic. It was nice, and it broke down by pound.
Yeah.
It said like a 25-pound turkey. It needs to be out the Friday before in the
Yes.
fridge. People don't realize how early it needs to be.
It needs to be out.
And
Yeah.
and
Hold the phone.
don't put a frozen turkey in the fryer.
Oh, man. Do we still have to talk about that?
No, we do because not last Thanksgiving, but the one before when I was still in San Diego.
Right.
It's in wildfire season. Somebody across the valley
Yeah.
did it, and they caught the whole hill on fire, and we almost had to evacuate. So don't do that.
So
Even
don't-
that's a little more damn.
No,
yeah, I'd still do
it's
it.
not good.
It's not good. It'll blow your house up.
It will. I mean, it's like they should use turkey fryers and frozen turkeys in war.
Yeah.
Weapon of mass.
I mean, let's catch this entire mountainside on, take it over to the wars right now and just, what are you guys doing over there? Yeah, nothing real big. I paid $6.99 for this turkey, $40 in oil. I got some propane here, and I'm going to burn this whole town up.
Quite efficient.
Yeah, no, yeah, and don't do it on your wooden deck.
True.
So you take the turkey, it's completely frozen. You throw it in 350-degree oil.
It's not good.
No.
Hey, can I tell them about your rumored guest?
Yes.
Have you heard about this, producer?
No. I didn't hear that this was happening today. So.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if I've heard about this.
Well, I heard it in the halls. That's what
you
the
did.
Rumor. Did you hear about this?
I don't
we
think
were
so.
walking around the halls.
Okay, walking about. Okay.
I did hear a rumor
Right.
that, and these guys are going on tour.
Right.
We think that it's going to be a baseball stadium tour because they're starting to book, baseball stadiums and tying the album in with baseball.
Right.
Rumored that Mick's going to be on your show. I heard that in the hall.
Well, I'm trying to get Mick on the
Jagger.
show, and I tried to get Mick and Keith on the show, but I wasn't sure if it would fly or not.
Well,
Because
I talked to the label,
oh, you did talk to the label,
and they said they weren't sure, but it's a possibility.
because I just saw. Well, that's funny. I was thinking about that, but I was also thinking about Paul McCartney because Paul was on BBC One talking about the new Beatles single
Right.
about a week ago, and I thought, man, I'll get a hold of Matthew. You can get a hold of somebody from
He's tougher to get.
from Capitol.
It's weird. He's tougher to get, but he does ride public transportation.
He does.
But my Capitol rep, I asked him
Yeah.
about it, and he wasn't sure.
Okay.
Joe.
And I'm not even sure. The Stones have Rolling Stones records.
Mhm.
They've switched around. Who's the distributor now?
Good question.
Yeah,
I got a
well,
guy.
they've got their brand new album out. It's been number one in UK. The Beatles singles number one. Yeah, well, you know what? A lot of radio broadcasters and people online and stuff can't figure out what decade it is. They feel like they've gone backwards in time because the Beatles had the number one single, the Stones had the number one album. It's like, what year is
Well, then
this?
a couple of weeks ago was Britney JT headlines.
Yeah.
And
What
that threw me. What year is this?
would it be, 95,
Well, in 3 more
98?
years, they're actually going to be doing Britney K-Fed headlines.
Ah, nice.
That's coming back.
Yeah, K-Fed's something else,
And
man.
and I guarantee Paris Hilton's going to be somewhere in the thick
Well,
of that.
yeah, but she was on TV just a while ago doing that commercial.
I saw that for Hilton Hotel.
Yeah, what do you know?
Weird.
Now, why would they get Paris to do a
It's kind of like me being on the Mony show.
exactly?
Weird.
What the hell's going on here? Anyway, with all that being said, Matthew, thanks for being on. Colin, Matthew, the Mony show's wrapping things up. We tried to do it about 3 minutes ago, but we rambled on more. So, again, happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday, and Small Business Saturday comes up on Saturday. Ironically, have a wonderful holiday weekend.
Don't start smoking.